We cannot hear you, Patti.
That's because I'm not talking. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I know it's not very often I don't talk. Blue, come here. Sorry. Just so everybody knows, hi, I'm still in the Sierras. It's a beautiful day. Look at that.
What's the temperature like?
It is 86 degrees. And if I leave it right there, we might see some. Oh, there's a chicken. Did you see it? And blue. So I'm still up in the Sierras. It's beautiful up here. We got a lot of thunder clouds and stuff like that coming up over the Sierras right now. Otherwise, I would have picked a different view to show you guys the mountainscape. But there's so many thunder bumpers coming up over the hills right now. They've had a lot of lightning strikes here in the Sierras most recently, which has caused quite a bit of fire issues. So I am at my sister's house in Bishop, and we are ready to rock and roll, answer people's questions and so forth. Like I said, it's a beautiful day. It's about 86 degrees, and it is absolutely beautiful. Look at this. It's just so quiet.
It's gorgeous. It's pretty.
I love that your husband's from Bishop. Oh, here comes Val. She's going to be like, where are you and what's going on? Like I said, I really wanted to take you guys on that side that you're seeing is the White Mountains. I can't show you the Sierra side just because it's socked in with clouds. Hopefully we don't get any more lightning strikes because they've been quite challenging. Hey, if you pay attention, you might see a chicken right about that area. And Blue is storming around here, just so you guys know. I brought her up to the mountains. There she is. She's going to be obnoxious for us today. Hey. All right. What do we want to talk about?
I have a real life question maybe you can help me with.
Okay.
Boyle Heights, Los
I
Angeles.
was going to say it's cheaper to keep her. Sorry.
Oh, I lost that twice already.
Boyle Heights.
Let's not go there. So Boyle Heights, LA City, single family home. The new owners did an enormous amount of renovations, all new electrical, new roof, new windows, and a bunch of other cosmetic stuff. However, they did it all without permit. As a property manager, should I even get involved leasing this and managing it, or would it be considered uninhabitable because of no permits approved? What's your thoughts?
Is there a certificate of occupancy?
Oh, the house is 50 something years old. Yes.
Okay. And they made modifications without getting it permitted?
Correct. Electrical is the main one that concerns me.
What did they do? Did they add? I got that they added electrical without a permit. Did they add additional rooms?
No.
What did they upgrade without a permit?
Electrical, windows, roof replacement. I think that's about it for the most part.
What were they thinking?
That's what I told her.
In
So I sold the
LA,
house before she bought it because I was going to list it, but they went through some probate person. And I'm walking around and I see this new sub panel. I'm like, did you do that permit? Because the husband owns his own painting scaffolding company. So they, quote, know people. So I said, man, she put an ADU in the back. And I said, I ain't touching that. That I'm not touching. You get no COO on that. I'm not getting involved with that ADU, but I'll do the front house. But
no, you won't.
Yeah, that's my point.
No, you won't. Do you know why?
Because it's without a permit, it's considered uninhabitable by the city of Los Angeles.
Correct. However, once they have a certificate of occupancy, that date for 15 years of being exempt for rent control kicks in, but the house that's been sitting there immediately has it.
Has rent control.
As soon as an ADU goes in there, absolutely.
Well, it's not a permitted ADU, so I'm having nothing to do with that. That I know.
The
That-
second somebody moves into that, you're going to have a huge problem as far as the house is now rent controlled.
Okay, aside from that, the very fact that these structural improvements were done without permit has sort of, I mean, do I disclose that to a new renter? All this stuff is done without permit? I mean,
Absolutely not. It's not their business.
so you're telling me don't worry about the unpermitted improvements?
No, hang on a second. Okay.
All right.
I'm extremely concerned about the unpermitted improvements. And the reason being is the second the tenant finds out that they didn't pull permits on that, they're going to use it as a habitability issue against you. Okay, chicken, shush. Sorry. So I think they would use it against you saying that it's unpermitted, but this doesn't necessarily mean it's not fit for them to live in. You're just not in compliance with the city's codes and regulations. So let me just play this all out, okay?
Okay.
I'm not afraid that they did improvements that aren't permitted. That's an issue where they're going to get fined from the city, but not something that the tenant is going to scream habitability about unless that improved roof, it was done shoddy and the roof leaks. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it all looks good. I mean, but I mean, I just went through a remodel in Lincoln Heights, but I did everything with permit, and the electrician was pointing out 45 inches from the ground on this, and different breakers for microwave, all kinds of things, right?
David, are you paying attention to the chat?
I'm trying to find a chat.
Holly says, hey, David, I'm in Boyle Heights with permits. I have a certificate of occupancy and I'm in need of a property manager. Let's talk.
Yeah, I'm more than interested in that. I want to bring it up in front of everybody. I'm not.
It's okay. We're all a team here, and that's totally okay. That is perfectly acceptable behavior, in my opinion. Okay, we're all here as a team to help each other, and that's one of the big things of why I do this. I'm not telling him to run. I'm not. Val, his problem is with the owner and the city, not something the tenant could cry about. Listen, is the tenant going to pull that they didn't pull a permit in their hot water heater when they did their hot water, so there's no permit? But listen, from the tenant's perspective, who cares if the hot water heater works?
I understand that the city even wants a permit for hot water heater.
Where it's going to cause you a problem isn't going to be with the tenant as far as those permits. The ADU, big problem. Don't touch that.
Yeah, I told her up front, I ain't touching that.
But the second somebody moves into that ADU, that house has rent control on a statewide level.
All right.
Okay, that's what I'm telling you.
So back to my original question. Should I assist this home for the leasing and the management, the front house?
Yeah, I don't see an issue with it. As long as they got insurance and you're listed as additional insured or interested party, I'm okay with it.
The homeowners?
Yes. Blue.
All right.
Hang on, I gotta find the obnoxious dog. Blue.
Good to know.
Just make sure you're listed as additional insured or interested party. That would be my biggest concern. You guys hang on. I got to put eyes on the dog. Blue? Where'd you go, Blue? Blue by you? The worst place she could have went is in my sister's house. So I'm not going to worry too much. Blue by you? Come here, Blue. The Blue. I think she got too hot, went in the house and barked. Sorry. All right. Does that answer your question? I am not afraid of the not permitted roof, not permitted water heater. And what was the other thing?
Electrical and windows.
They're up to code, yes?
I'm not a general contractor inspector. I can't make that determination. It looked good to me, and I've seen a lot. It looked good to me, but all it takes is one crossed wire or something stupid. And
why do you think I mentioned the insurance, that you were listed as additional insured or interested party on the owner's side?
yeah, well, if we get sued, they cover it instead of my E&O.
Mm.
Is that
Anybody comes after you, we're going to go right to the owner's insurance. Somebody does something funky, we can file a claim against the owner's insurance as additionally insured.
might, company do that when I notify them?
I wouldn't tell E&O anything at this point.
Oh, I'm not at this point.
Yeah.
I'm saying worst case scenario. There's a fire, electrical fire because something overheated in the wall. Because some positive was tapped to a negative. And then
Well,
they pay the victim.
I get you, but that's what insurance is for, right?
Wow. I even if you didn't do anything wrong, you got to pay to defend yourself. But
Absolutely.
all right, sounds.
Blue, come here, Blue. Blue.
Patty,
Oh, she's in the house and I'm calling her. Yeah, what's up?
on that same topic, I get permits for all the major stuff, little small things. I probably don't always pull permits, but on all the major stuff, I get permits and, ADU did all of that. But
Right.
I mean, to what extent can you really hold the city liable? Because on my current project that I have going on, we did the permits and everything. City of Rancho Cucamonga, they had me sign, and this is where I was like, I don't feel comfortable signing this, but I really had no other choice if, I wanted to proceed with my project, unless I did it unpermitted, which I didn't want to do. But they said, you are held accountable for all the work that you do, and we are not held accountable for anything. And even if you move and sell your property, you are still accountable for anything that you have built. And I said, okay, but you guys, at the end of the day, I'm pulling a permit. I'm paying thousands of dollars in permit fees for you guys to come and sign off. You guys look at the electrical, you guys sign the mechanical, you guys sign all of that. And she's like, oh
All
no,
they're
we don't.
signing off is that it's up to their standards. They're not saying it was done correctly. Nobody's going to get hurt. That's not what they're signing off to. They're signing that this is in compliance with our city regulations. That is all. Okay.
And to me, that says a lot.
Absolutely. If it's in compliance with the city regulations, then technically it's up to code. So don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. You're doing it the right way.
Just make sure that they file that stuff. I have another situation. Went through all the permits. The guy didn't get the final certificate of occupancy because it was a complete remodel. 4 years later, this nonprofit's going debunked, and their attorney asked the landlord for the certificate of occupancy. So I went on the LA website. You can see all the permits that they pulled, but no finals and no COO.
And let's talk about that really quick, okay? So that other people that are listening in our little meeting today understand what we're speaking about. David, I'm in the understanding if you don't have a certificate of occupancy, meaning it's not fit to live in, that you legally can't rent it. Is that correct?
That is very correct.
I'm also in the understanding that if you rent something that doesn't have a certificate of occupancy, pay attention, you guys.
Here it goes.
The tenant can sue you to get all their rent back, plus sue you for breaching the warranty to provide a habitable dwelling, which starts at $500,000. Thank you very much. So remember those people way back before COVID when rents were skyrocketing? People in San Diego, and there was a huge housing demand. People in San Diego were literally renting their storage sheds in their backyard. Do you guys remember seeing that? This is like maybe 7 years ago. Okay. People were fixing up their storage sheds and collecting $1,400 a month rent for a storage shed in their backyard. All those people got all their money back. You can't charge for something that isn't up to standards, not habitable. Okay.
Yeah. In this case, all the permits were pulled, but obviously that contractor didn't get the final everything.
If there's no final, the tenant can, if it's uninhabitable, meaning there's no certificate of occupancy, which means it's not fit to live in, then the tenant is most likely going to sue you to get all their rent back plus file an additional habitability claim.
Yeah, not against me, but.
All right. I got a question from Holly. I have a question about my recent eviction in LARSO on the 4. Okay, what's your question, Holly?
So I sent our lovely tenant the last known address I had on him. he would not give us a forwarding. We asked him via email several times. He never responded. So I sent it to our rental property because it's on him, and it's literally sitting in the mailbox right now. And
So, Holly, do me a favor.
Yep.
Go take it out of the mailbox.
Okay.
Write on it, return to sender no longer at this address. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
put it in your file.
Got it.
The
Okay.
reason I tell you to put it in your file is, hear me out, everybody. Okay. If the new tenant was living at that property, they would write, return to sender no longer at this address. They would throw it in the mailbox. It would then get forwarded back to Holly with that information on it.
Okay.
Save a trip for the postal service and just write on it, return to sender no longer at this address, and put it in your file.
Got it. And then,
Don't
yeah.
open it. You know
Oh, no.
what's in there. Don't open it. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's like a 50-page document. It's ridiculous.
That's my girl.
yeah.
That's my girl. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So then,
Did you send it priority mail, no signature?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, because nobody would be there to sign for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least I have
So-
tracking of it though, that you sent it.
Oh, I have the tracking receipt. I took pictures of it on its way and in the mailbox, but now I'm going to go get it and go to the post office and write return to sender on it.
Don't go to the post office. Think of it this way. A new tenant is going to write on there, no longer at this address, return to sender.
Okay. Well, we're
They're
not
going
going
to then throw it in the mailbox. It's going to then get returned to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can go through all that if you want to, or you could just write return to sender no longer at this address and then put it in your file.
Oh, not put it through the postal. Just
It's up to you. I mean,
Oh, I see what you're
they
saying.
don't double stamp it at that point.
Right,
If that
right.
makes sense to you. They just
does.
return it to you.
got it. Okay.
So
Yeah.
you pick, you pick what you want to do. I would hate for it to get lost in the shuffle
Yeah.
and you not get it back.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
And then we did make time for the tenant. Oh my God. As you know, we hired Chris Security. It was quite the deal. The tenant and his crew of people, I'm being very nice, called me every name under the sun, which I won't share, but it was interesting. I kept my mouth closed the entire day.
Did Chris shove him up against the wall for you?
Chris kept saying, "Are you okay with this?" And I said, "I'm so happy today because these dirtbags are going to be out of my universe very soon." So they basically took everything we feel that was of worth to them. We gave them an extra day to come collect the rest of their stuff. I mean, we gave them 14 hours. These folks were the worst packers that we've ever seen in our lives. And so we hired Chris, and they said they were going to come, and they never showed up. So we feel like we did our due diligence, in a court of law. We could say, look, 14 hours, we've done it all. And then their time period came and went.
That's what I was waiting for,
Yeah.
baby.
Their time period came and went. We inventoried everything, and I'm an estate sale person. I work
Yep.
on estate sales, so I
You
will
guys
know.
listen to what she just said. Pay attention to what she just said. She
Yep.
works on estate sales.
Yep. So I know the value and sellability of furniture. I know that you cannot sell a mattress.
This is piss stained. Sorry, did
Yeah,
I
it
say
is
that?
disgusting. It smelled like weed in the house. No
Look.
way.
It is $700 or less combined.
Yep.
A bag of clothes is $1 at a yard sale. Nobody
Ugh.
buys a piss stained mattress.
No.
Couch cushion is missing a pillow. Nobody's going to buy it. That now
Right.
becomes trash.
Yeah.
Dining room table missing a chair also becomes trash. Are you guys
Scratched
paying
furniture.
attention on scrapping things out?
Yep.
You want to give them little to no value. Sorry, Holly, I'm
Yep.
also using this as a teaching experiment.
Yep. Go for it. No, it's true. So we took pictures of everything.
Good.
We did a walkthrough video of everything, and then
Good.
I did an Excel spreadsheet of everything, and the total value was under $200. So I have that. what do I do with that? Do I have to file that anywhere, or that's just for me?
That's to
Okay,
cover your asset
Cover
in
my
the
ass.
event. Bingo. That is
Uh-huh.
your evidence to cover your ass. Go ahead and throw it all away.
Yep.
Trash
So
it out.
I hired a junk hauler. Junk hauler came, took it away, done. We're moving like crazy to get our place back together. You can't, it's, I hired an amazing cleaning company, which I should share with you all. Amazing. I mean, they're not cheap, but they revived an oven that I thought would have to be scrapped. I have to have the gas company come back. You know, our dirtbag tenant, he didn't pay gas. His gas got turned off early July.
Yeah.
You know, the utilities can turn off their utilities, but we can't.
Bingo.
Yeah. And so I don't know 100% if the oven works, but if it does, that guy saved me like $900 in buying a new stove. I
Right.
mean,
Sometimes it's like one time I paid a carpet cleaner $500 to do a 3-bedroom house.
yeah.
You're like, damn, $500. You don't understand. He saved the carpet. I got
Mhm.
5 more years out of it.
Exactly. So we're moving along now.
We
I'm just
call, we
like,
call that putting lipstick on the pig. Just
yes,
so
totally. But I'll throw up in the chat this cleaning company because this guy was amazing.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, I see somebody in the chat asked, looking back, were there any red flags in their application? Yeah. We did not screen hard enough. We used the Zillow. We post our listings through Zillow. I will never do a background. Zillow does background checks or whatever. Never again. I actually found on the guy's desk, he was denied credit in October 2021. This is when we got his credit report from Zillow that was like, oh, he's good. It also showed that he had liens and all kinds of stuff and so we learned a very hard lesson that we need to use like the Apartment Association of America's screening, AGLA's screening, like that is the biggest preventative because that would have flagged this guy's crap. Yeah. This guy's a bad guy. He has a restraining order from his wife. It's like, it's really ugly. He was
Yeah,
not a
they
good
want to
person.
know you're a state sales company. They want to know all kinds of stuff.
I work for a company called Handled, and you can find them on Instagram. We just did one in San Marino that was just crazy. It went viral on Instagram, and you can see us on Instagram, basically. I'm not the owner. I just work. I help do staging and setup. Handled
On
Yep.
Instagram.
Like we handled it. Yep, we're great.
Awesome. All right, Sydney, let's get to your question. I purchased my triplex in unincorporated LA County DCBA in 2004. How do I know if there was a certificate of occupancy and how can I get a copy? Go to the building department. Building has that, and just see when was your certificate of occupancy on your address listed.
Okay, I'm sure it is because it was rented when I bought the property, and it was built in 55. But I just want to make sure I have a copy for my records.
Hey, I completely and totally understand, since that's something that seems to be used against us quite a bit in litigation at this point. It's not a bad thing to have in your arsenal.
So you said go to the building department?
Yep. Like permits in building and safety, where you would go like in the city offices.
Or in the county?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
the city, wherever you're
Or the-
at. Yes.
Yeah,
And go
okay.
into that office in building and safety and tell them the address and tell them that you want to see a copy of the certificate of occupancy, or you'd like to purchase a copy of the certificate of occupancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it also a good idea to have any copy of permits that were pulled previously?
That's up to you.
Okay.
That is completely up to you what you decide.
Okay.
I just posted
Look at-
the website
look at-
for her. I just posted the website for her.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
To be quite honest with you, usually when an attorney is looking up your case, they're going to plug in the address in this website and see if you pulled a permit for your water heater or your this or your that. So just remember, just as easy as you can go look it up, so can they.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They meaning whoever they happen to be.
We know who they are.
Well, it could be the opposing counsel, the
Yeah.
tenant directly.
tenant,
It could be
yeah.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
just they.
Okay. Thank you for that website. I can go on there. Okay.
No worries. And for those of you that manage property in LA County, that's a great resource for you guys. Tag and bag it is what I usually say. Grab a hold of that. Don't let it go. It's a good resource for us. Just like the Stay Housed LA is a great resource for us. I have a question just boldly, and I just want everybody to like give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I am going to work with AGLA to make them have an online program on their website that will tell you how much you can raise the rent in each area rather than just the state. Does that make sense? Is that something you guys, yes, everybody's interested. Okay. That was just one, but basically it would be like a thing where you plug in the address and it tells you how much you can raise the rent. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. At least my thinking is spot on. So that's something I want AGLA to incorporate and work on. I want them to make their forms fillable, and I'm actually working with the team right now to do that. I'm actually picking what fields are going to be able to be fillable and what ones aren't. So I've submitted that all to their C-Stack designers yesterday. I mean, we're in the midst of making it so their forms are fillable, because that will make it so much easier for you guys if you can auto-populate things. And what I mean by that is, let's say you enter ABC or 123 Main Street, okay? And it's an apartment community of 200 units. And then you have that saved in there, right? Under Main Street. So you could save all of your apartment communities. So then when you have to do a lease, you just click on it and it auto-fills all of the owner side information for you, and you can make it do the tenant stuff relatively easily. Also, if you have your tenant's lease and all their documents auto-filled and saved in your little file, and you need to all of a sudden serve a 3-day, you can click on their file, add a 3-day notice, and it'll auto-populate everything but the dollar amount that's delinquent, because we wouldn't know that. We're not linked to your accounting software. So with that being said, it is going to make this less likely for you to make an error if we make it auto-populate for you. Does that make sense?
Why are you trying to make life easier for everybody, Patti?
Baby, I'm trying. I wish that there was somebody out there like me when I was managing the amount of property that I was managing. So what I'm trying to do is find out what I would want as a manager. I want to make sure it's what you guys want as you're managing properties, and make sure that we're all on the same page. If I can bring all of that to AGLA and implement it, it just makes us all that much stronger, right? I mean, come on. If you're managing 200 doors and you have 23 people that didn't pay their rent by the 1st, and it's the 2nd of the month and you need to do 3 days, what if you could do 23 days in less than an hour? Do I have your attention? 20 different 3 days in less than an hour. Because all you're doing is plugging it, hitting 3-day, it auto-populates everything. You hit print and you fill in the dollar amount they owe. That's it. You're done. Hit the easy button. So that's what I'm trying to generate for you guys to help you out. When you have a curable breach of covenant notice, that it auto-populates some of that information so that you don't have to.
Quick question on that. If you have a form that you serve, doesn't have to be 3-day anything, and most of the items are auto-populated, typed, and then you have something handwritten in there, there's no issues with that legally, is there? Or should you start one way, finish the other way, or what's your thoughts on that?
Do you want me to tell you the honest opinion?
Both legal and yours.
I can't give you the legal option, but I can give you my honest opinion. Okay. Ask me the question again, because the chicken messed me up.
So if you're serving a form such as a 3-day, notice to cure, whatever, and a lot of the aspects of the forms are auto-populated, typed, but then on some of the other ones, like you said, just put in the dollar amount handwritten. Are there any issues with that?
Hold on. When I say handwritten, You're going to be able to type it in on the computer. So when you print it, it all comes out, but you're going to physically type that dollar amount there.
Okay, because you
In
said
other words,
handwritten.
I know I said handwritten, and that was a bad choice of words. I apologize. You could do either or. You could either print it out and handwrite it in there, which is not a problem. Where you get into problems and what an attorney and a judge once said to me is look at it this way. When you have a standard issue written contract, okay? And then the landlord starts writing things in there. The tenant agrees to waive their right to a trial by jury. The tenant agrees no mail overnight guests. The tenant agrees. Now you see where that pin gets you in trouble because you're taking away their civil rights. That's not legal. You don't have that much power. Put your pin down. Okay? Put your pin down. So we discourage people from handwriting things in a lease contract because number one, it can and will be used against you in a court of law. Trust and believe that. Number two, it attracts the attention of opposing counsel and a judge to look for a handwritten note in there that isn't legal. It like attracts attention. Does that make sense? So when you
That's why I asked the question.
Right. But we're going to make it so I use the wrong terminology. It's not you can handwrite it in there. We're making that box fillable. In other words, you provide that information. We're just auto-populating everything else. Your threshold amount, your this amount, your that amount.
Yeah, just change
I'll
unit
let you
number and
know,
the dollar
Val.
amount. What's
I'll
that?
let you know, Val. Oh, you like my shirt? Thank you. She's asking. She changed to CAA. Now she wants to know if we can change back. You like my green shirt? Did you see what it says? Hold on. I don't know if I could stand up without falling over the where I'm sitting. It says, true story. The guy caught a little fish. The girl caught a big one. For those of you that don't know, I'm quite the avid fisherman, both freshwater and salt, mostly salt. But this week is freshwater.
Now, AGLA pays by door, right? They charge you by how many doors you have?
So does CAA. All of the apartment associations do. The only one that doesn't is CAR, but that's not an association. It's just forms.
Well, AOA doesn't either by the door. They just charge you a one-time fee.
AOA is...
Yeah, you've made that clear over the years.
Well, it makes me frustrating. I have that one, Val. You got it for me. WTF, where's the fish?
Hi, Patti. Can I ask a question?
You can. Let me make a statement real quick first.
Okay.
AOA is owned by one man, and he is a real estate broker that started an apartment association to provide a service because he really just wanted to do sales. Okay? So he's one real estate broker that started this thing, and none of your funds go to the PAC. None of it goes to help. It all goes in one person's pocket. And just hear me out, okay? I'm one person, and I'm not doing that. I'm trying to spread the love, educating the masses, make us all a big team that we're stronger and smarter together because of it. We learn from each other's trials and tribulations. It's a great environment for us. I don't want to be that one person that just takes everybody's money and puts it in my pocket and then puts crap out. I'd rather be honest and forthcoming with you guys and give you guys good, solid information. There you go. Okay, now go ahead with your question, Rachel.
Okay. Actually, it's Surrey.
Oh, sorry, Surrey.
No,
you guys
no
sound
problem.
so much the
We
same.
sound the same, right?
You do.
I had a back-to-back kitchen stoppage, and it was very, very challenging. I had 3 different plumbing companies to fix it. And so what they discovered, it was, the building is about 70 years old, galvanized pipes, no rust, just there was organic material and grease. So the last plumber says that I probably need an outside access in case this happens again. And I was just wondering if that's the best idea, or just do the cleaning the way it was just done, which is they open a little opening in one of the apartments via the ceiling and just make a little door access door and do it. And of course, I know so little, and everybody that I talk to has a different opinion. So my question is,
I know what
any
your question
suggestions?
is. I know what your question is, but my head is spinning. So just give me a second so that I can say this and it doesn't sound like I'm screaming at you, okay?
Oh, okay.
Because we have an error there. There is a huge problem there, a massive problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is the person that disrupted the paint in your pre-1978 built house lead-based paint certified, and did they set up proper containment?
Yes.
Thank the Lord. Okay, now I can breathe. Hold on. Because my first fear was what that person isn't lead-based paint certified that cut the hole in the ceiling and made the trap door, and that made me panic. So let me get that out of my system now. It's up to
Right.
you what you want to do. Look at it this way. Every time there's a problem, you're going to have to go disrupt the tenant and do a clean out in their ceiling. What if it makes a mess in their on the floor, in their living room, on their couch, on their bed? I think installing one exterior would be much more convenient.
It's a very complicated situation, and of course, it's thousands of dollars so far. All right.
Well, then let's wait until there's a second issue and then think about it then.
All right. Sounds
Okay?
good.
Because I'm
I
with you.
agree.
If we're talking about thousands of dollars, I don't like to spend money.
Yeah.
I ended up putting one in and it made a big difference. In addition to that, I get every 6 months a clean out. And since I've been doing that, knock wood, haven't had any issues.
I'm sitting in the middle of my sister's wood pile, so knock, 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 knock.
Yeah, I like the idea of every 6 month clean out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you can get on a system with a plumber, usually they'll give you a discount if you're repetitive like that.
Mm-hmm. What about the enzyme cleaners? Has anyone used those?
Who?
Enzyme cleaners?
Yeah, that's what, that's what Google says, enzyme cleaners. Apparently, some of these enzymes, they also have bacteria, so they eat up the grease, or at least that's what they advertise.
I've never heard of it. It sounds like a fishing lure to me.
Oh, okay.
Jody, do you know what fishing lures were designed to catch? Fishermen, not fish. So whenever I hear something that just makes like, oh, that's just something to catch an owner, I use it's a fishing lure. It catches fishermen. You bought it, right? It caught
Right.
you. It caught
Got
you.
it. Got it.
So anytime I say it's a fishing lure, please remember I'm just saying they're dangling their bait to see if you bite it. That's all.
All right. Thank you so much.
Arlene also says that she seconds Hector at all about cleaning. She had an issue and they were very honorable. So if you guys need a cleaning person in that area, pay attention. They may be
They're not cheap, but they damaged my brand new hardwood floors and they paid to have it redone.
damn.
They were really good, and I just used them. Actually, they cleaned for a big apartment company building across from me, and I stopped them. And actually, some of their people will work on the side as well. So,
Wink, wink, wink.
yeah. So I had them do the apartment next door and the one you saw, Patty, and they were only
Oh God, it was gorgeous.
and
Yeah.
they were only going to charge $250 to clean that whole thing, and it was pretty dirty. And I said, that's not enough money. You need to charge my tenant more.
You need an apartment cleaned. Call Hector over at All About Cleaning.
Yeah. You can use my name if you want.
Arlene, so you're it's the same company, right? The one that Holly recommended? Because I
Yeah.
screenshotted it. That's what we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very, very good. They'll like move the stove away from the wall. They like really get into it.
Oh wow.
And yeah, they were climbing on everything and doing the tops of the the fans, and they did quite a
Saying
good
yes.
job.
I even hugged Hector when they were done.
Yeah, yeah. Now Hector's a really good guy, and he's, he owns the company, takes pride in his stuff, and they were good. They were really good. Place was really sparkling when they left.
You might not know this, Arlene, but do you know if it's LA only? Because I see it's all about cleaning LA. But do you know if they do other areas?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I'll call Hector. Thanks.
Yeah, but maybe if he doesn't, maybe he can refer you to somebody.
Okay,
But
perfect.
they were
Thanks.
they're licensed and insured. He was insured, and he stepped up. He came. He met the floor guy. He was very
He
responsive.
damaged the floor and relaid the floor at his expense. You can't.
Yeah,
That's
no,
priceless, you
yeah.
guys. That's
Mhm.
priceless.
Yeah, no, he took care of things. But I'm sorry I was late and I missed the beginning of this because I was meeting with this building inspector here.
Oh, here, for anybody that was late, let me give you what you missed, okay? Live from my sister's backyard, we have a wonderful view of the White Mountains today. You see that?
Mm.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's my view sitting out here talking to you guys. It's all of what, 81 degrees? And the chickens are right there. I don't see any of them out yet though, but they've been making all kinds of noise.
You're bringing us some eggs?
Oh, they're laying eggs to the point where we're making egg noodles. And yesterday, my sister made me the most wonderful ravioli that we hand rolled and made the filling for. And oh yeah,
Mm.
I'm being spoiled rotten.
Good for you. Couple of things. So we just got the city inspector was just here, signed off on the EBB. So the retrofit was done. And it didn't cost me anything.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I found another program that I just found out that I'm eligible for that I wanted to share with everybody. I'm going to be able to get some free air conditioners through the LADWP. I gave them the address.
I can hear David, and I can
Wow.
hear a couple other people in my head right now. Hold on, and I'll tell you if they're in here. Who's going to be going, wait, what? Give me that information, please.
Yes, please.
Yep, I knew that was coming, David.
Yeah.
So you go to, hold on, I'll give you I'll give you a phone number to call. And you
Okay.
can give them the address and ask them if you qualify.
Okay.
But they have I may not be able to, hold on.
You're
Okay,
fine. Arlen.
okay. All right. 855-665-9469. I'll put the email address in the chat as well. They're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. But you can get a 6,000 BTU air conditioner for free. All you pay is taxes and shipping, but if it comes through Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free shipping. So you basically just have to pay installation.
Yes,
but they're giving up to 275 rebates. But I think
LAHD is LA County only, Val.
LADWP.
LADWP. So it's LA. And thank you for sharing this with us, Arlene, because you guys, a lot of these rebates and stuff. Arlene, did you find out about this on your bill?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, pay attention. I may ask questions later, okay? When there's huge rebates and things that you can get like this for an air conditioner and stuff like this, it comes on the utility bill. If the tenants are the only ones getting the utility bills, you won't see those rebates come through. You won't see those incentives come through. I remember everybody was talking about submetering in apartments. Remember back in 2020, I think it was, when they made it mandatory for all apartment communities to be submetered, blah, 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 submetering, blah, blah. Do you know it came through on the utility bills when they had massive rebates for you to submeter your property, and it ended up costing you little to nothing? But a lot of us don't see those bills, so we don't know about those rebates. So thank you, Arlene, for sharing this with us, because now we all know what we can do. And for the rest of us that receive utility bills in an area, please use Widget's Way as an outlet to tell other people about rebates that are going on. Because
Yeah, but have the tenant do it though. Find out, give them the address and then have the tenant do it.
yeah, it's just
Because
the
you're only
most of
allowed,
us.
I think you're only allowed 2 per 10 years or something like that. But if the tenant is doing it on their bill,
Well,
then-
yeehaw!
yeah, there you go.
Hit the easy button.
Yeah.
Are they specific on a model number and brand that it's
Yeah,
available?
you go, when you go to this website, I'm not going to be able to get to it because I'm on my computer. There's a website and it's called, hold on, let me see, something marketplace. And it gives you, it's called Efficient Product Marketplace.
Efficient product marketplace.
And if you go on there, not only is it window, wall, portable air conditioners, but there's all this other stuff that I've been buying that I didn't know that I could have gotten rebates for and discounts. Like water heaters and heat pumps and all this other stuff that I've been putting in that I didn't know I was eligible for. So it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of money out there that people don't know about.
Look, everybody's sharing information. David put in their new Section 8 voucher amounts for LA City and payment standards under HACLA.
Yeah, it's changed.
Yeah.
And,
Did it go up or down?
well, they give you like 4 or 5 different regions now by zip code. And this whole voucher porting out from LA County to LA City and Riverside to LA City. I'm on part of the owners council. One other person in here is as well. I'm on the owners council for LA City Section 8. And if someone's going to transfer out of Riverside into LA City, they only get the same voucher amount for the rent they were getting in LA Rivers, in wherever they're coming from. Before, they just had a 2-bedroom voucher. They poured out from one place to the other, and whatever the new place was, you have a 2-bedroom voucher, go shop. Not anymore.
It's a dollar amount now?
It's what you were receiving prior. There's no increases because they've got no money. They're out of budget. They may not even have enough money for the month of December as it is right now. They probably will get it, but as of right now, they're stressing out. So they've cut. They're not issuing any new vouchers. They have about 200 people a month that drop off for a bunch of reasons. They're not replacing those vouchers with anybody. They're not issuing any new ones. So yeah, it's gotten pretty brutal. But one of the other changes was if someone wants to move from Riverside to LA City and they're paying $11.42 for a 2-bedroom over there, the voucher over here is only going to be $11.42. It's not going to be $25.87. So yeah, it's pretty brutal now. There's a lot of things that are changing behind the scenes.
We knew they were running out of money. I almost flipped over in this chair. You guys almost got a good shot of my feet. We know that they're running out of money, and we knew that some things were going to happen by the end of this year, and it was getting pretty scary. So we expected to see some changes. That's a big one. If them going based on the money alone and not on how many bedrooms, it might discourage a lot of people that are on housing from moving from other areas into the LA area because of the price difference in rents.
And we as property managers get phone calls all the time. Oh, I'll just pour it out from Riverside. Well, how much are they paying right now? That's what you're going to get here. So you don't show them the property and do the RFTA, go through all that stuff. You need all that information up front.
Yeah. A lot of information when you're dealing with Section 8.
But just a waste of time if you don't know the information. That's my big thing.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to say this out loud. Unless you're in a municipality that requires a 1-year lease, you're only interested in a month to month at this time.
Yeah. But you gotta be consistent.
Yep,
Correct.
across the board with everything unless the municipality allows it. The reason being is Section 8 will only sign a 1-year lease, and if the owner isn't willing to do a 1-year contract, then you don't have to comply with Section 8, so to speak.
That's right.
Patty,
Yes.
City of LA requires a 1-year lease, right?
So does City
No.
of and LA City, does Larso require a 1-year lease, Arlene?
Yes.
Santa Monica requires a 1-year lease. Anything
Hollywood.
under RSO requires a 1-year lease. So that is all of those cities that RSO hits, like help me here, San Pedro, Sherman Oaks. I'm just going off the ones I know. It also affects West Hollywood requires a 1-year lease. Santa Monica requires a 1-year lease.
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills requires a 1-year lease. So there's some cities that require a 1-year lease, and those cities that require a 1-year lease are only attracting Section 8 applicants. That's all that does, in my opinion.
So how did this thing on the front page of the LA Times yesterday go through where they're charging people insane amounts of money, like several $100,000 to rent out these mansions in the Hollywood Hills for the Olympics?
Oh, I can imagine that that's going to come to head.
So how are they're not giving them 1-year leases. So how are they legally doing that? They're not, right?
Nope.
So they're going to, I mean, that's all over the front page of the paper yesterday.
Well, you want to know something funky that's happening in New York right now? And I know we're in California, we're on the other side of the nation, but they've been rent controlled for way longer than we have.
Oh, decade.
Way stricter than we have. Okay.
Mhm.
Now what's happening there is they have whole apartment buildings
Vacant.
that are sitting there completely empty. You know why? The owner can claim a loss of rent on their tax bill and not have to deal with the bureaucracy and bullshit of their rent control rules. So they just leave their unit vacant and claim the loss on their taxes.
Well, that's what's happening in San Francisco too.
It's spreading like cancer.
Patty, I read something interesting in Brazil. They did away with rent control because there were so many apartments not being rented, and they
It doesn't work. Rent control doesn't work. It doesn't work. It makes landlords have dilapidated buildings, not be able to do repairs, have their hands tied, suck out all their resources. Does this sound familiar to you guys? It doesn't work. It sucks. It doesn't work. Rent control doesn't work. All it does is benefit tenants, but in the long term, it doesn't benefit the tenant because then nobody wants to provide housing. They have this problem in New York and in other areas. We're starting to see it in San Francisco. Don't be shocked if we start to see it now. And the threshold requirement in LA really sucks. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I mean, look at it this way, Holly. If they're on Section 8, but with a disabled disability where they get a very high amount of their rent paid instead of a very low amount of their rent paid, which is what we consistently see across the board now. If they're under threshold amount and their portion's $130 a month, are you ever going to be able to serve them?
Yeah. No, it's going to take like a year. It took us.
You can only go back 1 year. You can't go back 13 months. So in that time period, if they're not going to be over that amount, your option is to notify Section 8 that the tenant's not paying. And then what Section 8 will do is cancel their Section 8. Once Section 8 is canceled, then you can go through a regular eviction because they're not on Section 8 anymore. Make sense?
Yeah, no. It doesn't AGLA have a lawsuit against the city?
AGLA has 3 lawsuits going against the city, the county, the state, the threshold amount, all of it.
Yeah.
They are fighting tooth and nail to try to beat this.
Yeah. I mean, when we relist our apartment, it will be just above the threshold because we're not going to have to wait 2 months again to start the eviction process.
Yeah,
It's
no.
ridiculous.
Hey, Patty,
Yeah.
my understanding for RSO does not require a 12-month. They don't. You can go month to month. If the tenant stays there for more than 6 months, then they fall under just cause. I just Googled it and it says, no, they do not require, RSO does not require a 12-month. And then it just sends you to the whole thing. I'm trying to find it so I can post it. But
Okay, perfect.
but one
Perfect.
of the,
LARSO requires it. It's
Part-
always
part-
required.
who does?
LARSO requires a 1-year lease.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's
To
under
start.
HACLA also.
Yep.
under-
Under HACLA requires
Yes.
a 1-year lease.
They can go to month after the first year, but they require the first lease to be a 1 year.
It says the Los Angeles Rent Stabilization Ordinance does not require a 1-year lease. It says you can only raise them once every 12 months. Well, I'm going to use some profanity right now. Dennis Block, he teaches us that only do a month to month because up to 5 months, you can still just issue a 30-day notice to vacate. After
Where was the profanity?
Dennis Block.
That's not profanity. No. You
The
guys
law-
pay attention. Pay attention, okay? I know all these attorneys, okay? They only tell you what they want to represent you in court about. Does that make sense? They will lead you to do something so they can go fight that court battle or defend you from that court battle because they think they have an upper hand on it or a different insight to it. So keep that in mind when you're listening to attorneys. A specific attorney, and Arlene will pipe up, but I won't say anything. I know she will. Was telling everybody if you own a single family home anywhere in the state of California, you can raise your rents over 10%.
You can't if you give a 90-day notice or more.
And we're not in a state of emergency in that 90 days, but that was never discussed.
Well, that's
Ah!
you didn't mention that up front, but I did
Of
that.
course.
I did that in November on somebody, gave them a more than 10%, gave them 90 days. They got legal advice, called RSO, and they said, well, you did it right. Now the state of emergency kicked in, but I issued it before. So fine. So it wasn't for the state of emergency. Yes, you can. You just have to give 90 or plus days notice if it's 10% or more.
You guys want to know a secret? Since the state of emergency price gouging law was enacted,
Yeah.
okay, in 2019, and I remember it specifically because the law passed and immediately they had a state of emergency in San Diego because of an outbreak of something in the homeless. Okay, I want to say it was like an outbreak of syphilis or something like that. And don't quote me to what it was, okay? But it was some kind of outbreak that was affecting the homeless and everybody in that area. So they did a state of emergency. And from that time period, there has been a brief window of 90 days in 2024 that California was not in a state of emergency in one county or another. 5 years, 3 months of freedom. Whoa. Okay. Watch that state of emergency. It's no joke. Okay. And Dennis Block isn't a bad word. It's just attorneys will tell you what they want to tell you because they have an argument for the judge or they want to see how that's going to play out or whatever. I try to tell you guys err on the side of caution. We don't look good in orange.
Yeah. So the current price gouging is extended through October. Is that correct?
Yes.
If they were affected by the fire.
No.
No, I don't think so, Pat. I think it's
No.
anything.
There's like 5 zip codes that are exempt, mainly the west side. But other than that, everybody is still under the anti-gouging. They were doing it month to month, and they just said, let's just go to October 31st.
How do you know what zip code
Why are they doing it at all? It's
You didn't
not,
want
there's no need.
Well, you know who these laws are written for?
There's no need. And everybody please pay attention. This is what I mean when I say pick your head up out of the sand and look around. The majority of people that were affected by those fires were middle class and upper class. And if they need more clothes because they lost everything in the fire, they're going to go to Walmart or wherever and buy them. They're not going to go get in a line somewhere. With that being said, you guys, yes, it affected them. But if those fires would have affected low-income neighborhoods, we would be in a much different state than we are right now. We would be in a state of emergency for at least 3 years to help protect all those people that can't just go to Walmart and buy new jeans because they don't have the money.
Patty, the argument is that the workers, like gardeners, like people that were working for those rich people, now don't have a house to go to work to. The workers supposedly are whatever.
Let me see your 1099. You're protected. See how easy that was?
Well, I have a house in South Pasadena. We were going to put on the end of January for 10 grand, 4-bedroom. And we couldn't do it because the law maxes out at 6,880, which is 160% of the whatever fair market value for a home in a 3-bedroom. So she decided not to put it on the market because she didn't want to get somebody in there and then have to raise it afterwards. And it was just a mess. So
Yeah.
beautiful house is sitting vacant. Luckily, they inherited it. But I'm sure there's a lot going on like that. People are like, I'm not going to lose that kind of money. So now it's sitting there empty.
How do you know what zip codes are exempt from the extension of the state of emergency?
It's on the website. It's on the web. I can try and find it while we're on here and post it, but it's in writing. There's no doubt about it.
Google California state of emergency, LA County, and it'll bring it up for you, I'm sure.
Okay, let me do that.
Okay. App Snug Safety for residents that live alone. Arlene found something for residents that live alone. I'm assuming that this is for elderly residents, but maybe not entire.
Not necessarily, because 2 days ago, my tenant in his 50s had a heart attack and lives alone and has no family. So this is an app I found that will check in with that person on a daily basis. And if they don't respond, it'll contact, I'm not sure who, but maybe
Whoever their
emergency services or whatever. So I thought I would just share it because I got to get off. But
thank you, Arlene.
yeah, but that was a scary situation, and I don't know if I have any responsibility other than just being a friend or whatever. I'm just, he just came home a little while ago when I had to walk away during this meeting to open his. He didn't even have his keys to get it back into his house.
Poor guy.
So, anything else that I should do for liability on my end, or just keep an eye out?
I keep an eye out, keep an extra eye out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Offer him that service as something, but I mean, I would just try to be friendly about it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I sent a note and just said, what can I do? And he said, could you turn the air on? So I went in this morning and turned the air on so it'd be comfortable and cool for him when he got home. And, told him when I opened the door, I'm here. If you need anything, just let me know.
Do me a favor, because I know you're going to get off soon.
Mm-hmm.
Give mom a hug and give the baby a bigger hug for me, okay?
Okay, will do. It's her birthday Friday, 89.
Oh.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right, bye, baby. Bye. All right, Val, doubt this is a big deal, but a new tenant just moved in. They wrote on their cashier's check first and last month's rent plus pet fee. This is not correct. I did not include last month's rent. I think a quick conversation would do, but you never know. The lease is clear how the deposit is allocated. Do you suggest anything else? My assistant deposited the check, so I did not see it until I could see the image online. That's something that we need to ask Chris. I think that your lease would control over what the tenant wrote on the check, but I don't know enough about it. let's wait until Chris is on here. He's not able to join us today because I didn't see him come in. So can you do me a favor and hold that for me till next week when Chris is with us? I don't think it is either. I think that you could prove that the lease controlled and that shouldn't be an issue. Hi, Patty. San Bernardino landscape rebate isn't looking too promising. To qualify, they want me to remove the grass, but said I can't do all rock. I have to replace with plants, which I don't want to do. This is correct, Julia. They require maybe 30% of the rockscape to be plants. Put in cactus. I love you. In other words, there's drought tolerant plants that you can put in there that don't require much watering at all. Talk to your landscaper, okay?
Patty, I have a question on that. I was told to be careful with these cactuses in case children run and get hurt.
I chose a poor choice of words. You could put up an agave plant. You could put up, there's drought tolerant plants you can put up that aren't prickly like a cactus. Using that as an example was a bad choice of words. I agree with you on not having cactus on rental property, but they have a lot of drought tolerant type plants that don't need a lot of watering. How's that? Did that help? Okay. Thank you, David, for catching me on that. I love you guys. You guys always have me. Succulents without thorns, Holly says. Yes. Little miniature palm trees, you know, those little sago palms, they don't take much water. There's quite a few things that don't take much water and aren't very expensive. And you can do it that way. Okay. One of the other things I did is I just put the 30% that had to be plants. What I did with that was went in and put just a little area of a patch of, I didn't use grass. I used something else. It's called, there's other ground covers that you can get that aren't grass, that don't require as much water. Purslane. Ooh, you guys got that? Purslane. I think that's how you say it. But there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, okay? Don't give up. Talk to a gardener, a landscaper.
Patty, I have also a question regarding landscaping. My tenant moved out and the grass is dead. So can I charge them for fertilizing and everything else? Oh, no.
What does your lease say regarding landscaping?
They have to take care of the landscaping, water it.
It mentions watering. Okay. Then call a landscaper and ask them what it's going to take to either bring that back or replace the sod. And then when you start that, you will be able most likely to charge that back to them. Yes, I've done it before.
Oh, okay.
Usually I don't put grass back because tenants can't kill rocks. You guys
right, that's attention? What I'm thinking, the same thing.
And if the city is going to give you a rebate, know that they won't do that if you don't have green grass to start with. Okay?
True.
I found that out too.
I agree with you.
So tenants can't kill rocks. The worst thing that we do when we have rockscape is weeds come up through it. Well, spray weed killer, the weeds die. Then you have a whole bunch of dead weeds.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Environment, you can burn them if you're cautious.
No, I'm just saying, for now, I'm not going to do it, but I'm thinking of doing it. So I was going to ask you about the grass because it's dead. So I'm going to charge them for fertilizing and all this, those kind of stuff.
Seeding and the water bill and all that nightmare.
Oh, they didn't pay for the water bill and the gas for 5 years.
Well, the gas bill should follow them unless it was in your name.
No, it wasn't. Nothing was on my name. I had to go today to the water and power and show that I'm the owner to bring my deed. Otherwise, they wouldn't switch it to my name because they didn't pay for 5 years.
Yeah, some of these tenants make life extremely challenging for us.
That's true, but they said the city didn't allow the water and power to charge them if they didn't pay for a year the bill. But now
During COVID, that is
yeah,
correct.
but they say now they're going after a lot of people.
Well, good.
Yes, I'm
Because
happy.
in the interim, it's you and I that pay for
Yeah,
that
that's what
higher amount.
she was
Yeah,
telling
exactly.
us. Yeah, she said that's why we're raising now water bills, sewer bill, and all this and that that you guys will pay for the people that didn't pay the bills. That's
I
what
get
the
it.
lady told me.
I get it.
Thanks for your help.
No
Have a
problem.
wonderful day.
Anytime.
Thanks.
No problem.
Oh, I was another thing when I got the keys back.
Mhm.
We left the door completely open and police came and they broke the door when they were moving out.
Good. Charge them for that too.
How much can you charge for fixing the door?
However much it costs to fix the door.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
No problem.
Have a wonderful day.
You guys have a wonderful day. Is there anybody that needs anything else answered before we get off of here? And I'm going to tip because we got new clouds over the White Mountains. So I'm just going to show you my view because I don't think it's fair. And the chicken's clucking away. And that's what I'm sitting here staring at. I'm cheating you guys. It's beautiful and so quiet. We haven't heard one car go by. It's insane. Hey, just so everybody knows, if anybody's looking at buying another piece of property up in an area like this, my niece is actually selling her house. So if you're looking for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath that has chickens and is in a beautiful area, let me know. I'd be more than happy to get you that information. Just saying. You know, besides, if you lived there, you'd be here already, right? Somebody's trying to call me. Sorry. All right, everybody. If anybody needs anything else, feel free to call me. I do have cell service. Tomorrow, I am planning a little adventure to go to a crazy clown motel. So I may have intermittent service. If you're trying to get a hold of me, leave me a message or send me a text is always better. I can text you back as soon as I have service again. Okay. Other than that, I am available. Starting Tuesday, I will be at AGLA. So if you need me during business hours, you can always call over there if you're a member. If not, I will text me and I'll text you back as soon as I have a chance. How'd you know I'm going to the creepy clown motel? I'm going to Tonopah. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. If you need anything, let me know. I'm here. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
And you're welcome. Bye, everybody.